Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Okay, first things first, let's get to blood sugars. Current blood sugar is holding steady at 7.1. This is even after breakfast, and they've increased my carbs. So I took an extra 5 grams of carbs today. Ooh ah, ooh ah. Oh my God. A win, a big win. I'm at 100% now. I have no high blood sugars. I'm at 100%, below 0 and 7.1. Amazing. This could change a bit because just before lunch I seem to spike a bit, but right now we're at 100%. That's an awesome win for me. Yay. Today I want to discuss acceptance of your diabetes. Well, it's a lot sometimes, and we're going to go through the steps. We'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Many people have acquainted that there are steps that you need to accomplish in order to achieve acceptance. I decided to have a little bit of fun with titling this instead of accepting your diabetes. Get down with it. First step comes upon shortly after diagnosis. And that step is denial. No. I don't have diabetes. Oh God, no. No one in my family has ever had diabetes. I can remember my grandmother having more of this denial. I've always felt, okay, I have it. I don't know if I was too dumb at the time. But I don't remember feeling, why did I get it? Oh, I must be a terrible person. I didn't know what was involved. I remember going to the hospital and thinking, wow, this is neat. I didn't go in through emergency. I was admitted through the regular office. I went in, and all through this is neat, this is exciting. Even when I got up into my room and got into bed, still nothing. So denial, I never really lived it. I've had more denial is with my complications. My eyes, my bad foot are all complications. I've had more denying those than I did about me getting diabetes. Does denial come from maturity? Interesting thought. Does denial come with maturity? If you take a person who gets diabetes when they're 18 versus a very young child, does the person who's 18 exhibit more denial? It's an interesting thought. One I should take a look at. But right now, denial could be your number one step. You're going to feel alone. You're going to feel like you're the only one who has this disease. You're not. You have this tool, the internet, which has opened up and taught people that you are not the only one out there. Next stage you can most likely associate with this was anger. Again, I never felt anger. And are these steps more with type 2s? But I never got angry about having it. And like I said in the first step about denial, I think it was pretty well, it was all a new adventure. I never really was was angry about it. I didn't deny it. It was just something I had to live with. The first two steps were a write-off for me. The next step was more kind of in my sphere of influence, and that was bargaining. I kept bargaining against my nurses, my doctors. I was great at taking the little appointment card. I would forget to write it down. With the advent of a phone, this helped quite a bit. I can take a look, seeing where my appointments are. As soon as I get an appointment card, it goes in there now. I go for appointments. I actually look forward because I can show how well and how far I've gotten with my diabetes care. It's more, I've won, but I went through a long time of bargaining. I think way back to second year, I was diagnosed with diabetes, and I didn't like the way the doctor spoke to me. I bargained my way right out of that office. I didn't bother making another appointment. I left and I walked out of there. My sister, I don't think even really cared. I don't think my doctor even realized he was upset with me. I just internalized. So I bargained my way out of seeing any doctor. I thought, if this was diabetes care, I didn't want any of it. So bargaining, yeah, that's quite easily a big part of this for me and for the list. I can see all of these steps being part of it. Next step is depression. We need to be aware. I saw this in the story I've told. I don't even know where this guy is nowadays, but I had it for a few years. I guess it was in my early 20s, 1920, and I was back in the hospital again. Imagine me in the hospital. And there was a new diabetic who brought in, and he denying it. He wasn't going to do it because he went through all the steps. He did the anger. He was angry at me. He was angry at everyone. Then there was the bargaining. I didn't see much of the bargaining, but it was definitely there. But then I saw depression. I saw all of this pretty quick. So I hope when he left that he accepted it. He was out of that hospital pretty quick. But I would have been really interested to see how long he was out there. People can be depressed about getting diabetes. If you are feeling depressed and feeling that this is a struggle for you, reach out and get help. Speak to your endocrinologist. Speak to your doctor. Feeling that life can't go on has nothing to do with your diabetes. It has to do with you coping. And it's important that you seek out help. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. You will succeed. These are just little stepping stones in order to get to acceptance. I just want to jump back one. Something just came into mind. Bargaining. I would always come up with some sort of excuse why I wasn't doing anything. And that falls into the bargaining. Okay, so we've done depression and finally acceptance. For some of this could happen pretty quick. For others, it could take a while. And I have acceptance of my diabetes. I know what needs to be done. I enjoy. I strive. Just pull it up again. Days where I can appreciate and get this 100% rating. Well job. great job. But I know I have diabetes. I know I have to take special precautions. But getting down, as I call it, acceptance of your diabetes will come. You just may need help along the way. I personally found that some of these steps people can have, and then some of these steps aren't always or very small steps. For me, the first two, denial and anger, weren't part of it. Bargaining was a big one, depression. And once I got out of the bargaining, that seemed to be the big. Once I got out of bargaining, I accepted diabetes. I think part of me that keeps me thinking we can move on is sitting here doing these chats with you. I think the depression and the bargaining, find some interest in your diabetes care. Specialize. For me, that worked. Doesn't mean it'll work for everyone. I think these steps are important. I personally believe that you don't need to go through all five. If you go through all five, wonderful. If you don't go all through five, it's not the end of the world either. There, make it a little more lively. For example, for myself, I took care of my bargaining and acceptance. Again, I don't know if it had to do with my age. I matured at a different rate. I found late teens, I was sort of coming 2 years behind, just in my maturity level. And then I caught up quickly. So that could help. Now, I said bargaining. Bargaining for me really went from age 15 to 23. For me, that was my bargaining era, and I stuck to it. I wasn't depressed ever about it. I thought, oh yeah, I wish I didn't have it a couple of times, but I wouldn't call that depression. To me, depression is that you are so not unhappy, but it's a stumbling block for you. You can't do anything else because you're so worried about your diabetes. That's depression. And only you can really decipher where you are in this step. Are you freshly diagnosed and in denial, saying, oh, I can't have diabetes? I'm the only one out there. Even though when I got diagnosed, I knew I wasn't the only one, but I didn't feel like I was the only one. And I think that kind of accepted the kind of the wrong choice. Well, I can use acceptance because this is called getting down with diabetes. Now, yeah, I know I have diabetes. Is it a stumbling block for me? No. I do what I have to do. if we were looking at the 5 effects of obesity in me, that could be a different story. So, let's just review them again. Denial. First thing, I don't have it. They've made an error. Second is anger. Why the hell did I get it? I didn't live a bad life. And at this stage, you yell and scream at people that you're in a relationship with. Next is bargaining. You bargain all the time. You keep trying to come up with reasons why you can't take care of your diabetes. Next, depression. Or that depression doesn't really encapsulate. Depression / burnout may be a better description of that. And then finally, acceptance. You have to accept you can't change that you have diabetes. So, acceptance. Those are the 5 steps of getting down with diabetes. You can succeed in having diabetes. But if you need any help in any of these steps, contact your doctors. They're there to help. They will get you the appropriate help. Have a great day, and we'll talk again later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.